some of the important points of yesterday. Identity of the letter R with Vishwa is seen as all pervasiveness. Vishwa, he says, it is all pervading. Then it has to be identified with Vaishwanara. Because we cannot tell that Vishwa is all pervading. It is limited. It is limited by the gross body. And this, in the Om we are having 3 letters. And the first letter, A, is pervading in all the speech. And Vishwa is pervading in the Vaishwanara. The individual identity with the gross body is called Vishwa. The same individual identifying with the all-pervading Vaishwanara by imagination. Then he becomes one with the Vaishwanara. We never imagine that we are beyond this body. We identify ourselves with this gross agent so much, we never even try to imagine that we are something beyond. But here, while meditating on Om, we have to imagine like this. For imagination, as I told you, nothing to be given. You can imagine that all words are in your mind. Mind is having such a capacity. Even all the words you can put in it by imagining. So, we have to identify with the Vaishwanara, meditating on Om and taking into consideration A more. We have to merge it in Vishwa and then in Vaishwanara. And then for that separate results were given. But yesterday we heard that subsidiary result is to praise the chief means. But if you separately meditate, then also you will be getting results, limited results. Then who identified with Tejasa, and he says that who is superior and the intermediate one from the Sushupti as well as from waking state, sleep and waking. And after superimposing the Tejasa on who, you have to make this who into Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha, Sutratma. That is the combination of subtle bodies. What we see in our dream is not a gross body. Because the gross body is in our bed. We see another body in the dream doing so many things, running here and there, even flying in the sky, and sitting on an elephant, riding, horseback, all these things we see. But it is very subtle. Why? The impressions are there in our mind, in our subconscious mind. They manifest there in the dream. But after waking up, you say the dream is not there. That means they are subtler. They are the impressions of their mind. And when the light is not there, when you are closing the eyes, in that darkness, how you are able to see the dream? Because of this self-effulgent Atma. But the Gaudapada Acharya says, by proving that the dream is unreal, this is not what we want to tell. All the while you are giving so many efforts to tell that the dream is unreal. And finally you say, this is not our point to tell. What do you mean? He says, that proves only the unreality of the world. But here we wanted to prove that the self is resplendent, self-effulgent. It is the light with which you are doing all the works. This we want to prove, he says. But that can be proved when all the superimposition is released, is refuted. Waking, sleep, dream, the whole world. Then only one thing remains. That is your own consciousness. This Swayam Prakasha Atma Deshe. It is not borrowing light from anybody or anything. Rather, it is giving light to the sun, to the moon, to the stars, each and everybody. See, Tasya Bhasa Sarvamidam Vibhati. In Katopaniषad we read. Tasya Bhasa Sarvamidam Vibhati. So, what Gaudapada Acharya want to tell? That the world is not created at all. Ajatavada. It is your imagination that something is there. So we say only the self-consciousness is there. That's why here it is called Ajatavada. The world was not created, he says. And then the who is superior, that we are told, and then ma, who, ma, it is pragya. It measures both the dream state as well as waking state. And the combined causal state is the seed for the imaginary creation and dissolution. Imaginary causal state. And finally, that it concluded only one effulgent self is there and other things are illusion. This, he says, one who realizes, one who experiences this consciousness is worshipped and he is the great sage. One who has experienced it. In Mundaka it comes that a realized person should be worshipped for getting the ends of relative plane. Relative plane. To fulfill the desires of relative plane, if you worship a realized person, all your desires are fulfilled. See, Archayet Bhuti Kamaha. Like that in Mundaka it comes. That's why he says he is worshipped. A businessman is there to do the business, not for spiritual practices or realization. So, he knows how to extract money from you, how to deceive you. Is it not? In the same way, in the world we don't find many people, those who want to realize. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhe yatatam abhisiddhanam kaschid mam vettita. Out of 100,000, lakhs and lakhs, one or two just thinks. He gets away from the house to realize. So, most of the people in the relative world are for the world only. And very few are there, those who want to know themselves, those who want to experience the consciousness which is within through the masters and the scriptures. That's why the scripture, you see, he very wonderfully explains the things. If you want to fulfill the ends of the relative plane, you do this. If you want to go to Swarga, heaven, you do this. If you want a child, you do this. Child, baby, issue. Huh? If you want money, you do this. Like this. And he says, if you want to know your own self, if you want to realize, if you want to experience the highest consciousness, then start with unselfish work, niskama karma. That, as Swamiji has explained in his last lecture, serve. That is karma yoga. Then afterwards love each and every one. Because the moment you start seeing the diversity, you are getting away from your own consciousness, your own self, your own Atma. You are going away and away. See, the spiritual teachers, they know how to tackle the mind of the individuals. That's why Veda Vyasa writes so many Puranas. And it takes both the characters, demons and gods. So, and in Brihadaranyaka it is told that there is nobody like a demon. It is your bad impressions of the mind are called demons. Good impressions are God. Each individual is having very few good impressions, many bad impressions. But still, we see the demonic nature in so many individuals. Raksha eva rakshasa. One who is more selfish is called Rakshasa. We see so many people. These business people, they are not worried. They want to get the money. So, they spoil all the organic things and start preparing inorganic things. With inorganic things, they prepare so many things. They are least bothered about the health of the individuals. They want only. So selfish. That means they are the demons on the face of earth. See. And previously also I told you that the gods also are demons. One side you are telling gods and the other side you are telling demons. How do you reconcile two things in one? Then the commentator, the great Bhagavad says, Asusu ramante asura. Those who enjoy the sense organs are called asura. Asusu praneshu indriyeshu ramante. So, the gods are not there to do spiritual practices or realization. They are there to enjoy in heaven. So, they are also asuras, enjoying the senses. They lose their balance also at times, enjoying so much. But Veda Vyasa says, now here we decide, depending on the impressions of the mind, whether a man is a demon or a god. But still in our Puranas, they describe so many demons. Demonic qualities are there. So once all these demons went to Lord Shiva. See, we are brothers because they are the issues of, say, Kashyapa Prajapati, Diti and Aditi. So the sons of Diti is called Daitya's demons. Aditi is called Aditya gods. We are brothers. And you always support all these gods, our younger brothers. You never support us. What is this? Then he says, you see, whenever they are in trouble, the gods praise me. I am a peace and I give whatever they want. But you fellows, you depend on your strength and ego and you wanted to swallow the whole world. Right, Hiranyakasipu? So that is the demonic qualities in you. You are ego-centered. You are selfish. You depend on your own energy, strength. Whereas the gods depend on my strength. So I support them. See. In the same way, now come to the point. We are having both the impressions. So the more and more we praise, we think of the self-consciousness, it is pleased with us. So, and if you are a worldly man, he says you worship a realized person and is called a great sage. Like that, even Dasaratha goes to Vasishtha. Dasaratha, father of Rama, goes to Vasishtha. They are not gone to any god's sage. And in the same way, the king, Dilip, had been to Vasishtha. So for their whole lineage, Vasishtha was the priest. When there were no issues, he goes to Vasishtha and gets the solution. That's why they are called sage. Now, in other words, we call them rishis. What are these rishis? Rishayo mantra drashtaraha. Vedas are eternal. Vedas are eternal. And whatever is written in that, by deep contemplation, they realize and experience the meaning. That's why they are called rishis. See? And also once it has come, I think, by constantly remembering the consciousness, he becomes the Muni. Mananath Muni. Not simply keeping Mauna is called a Muni. Manana. One who is free from these letters and afterwards he need not attain anything because he has uncovered the ignorance. The light is there within. So just uncover, that means at each and every moment you should feel that this body, mind and the world is an illusion. By that, you become a Muni, you become a Rishi, and you have attained everything. What has to be done in this life that you have done? Kritakritya. To do that alone, we got this human body. That's what the precious is. Since Vaishwanara is Hiranyagarbha is Ishvara, grass, subtle and causal, everything you are equalizing. Where from you have come to equalize? We are telling correct, he says. Because they are superimposed. A superimposed thing is not there, only Atman is there. So don't get disturbed when we say the grass is the subtle and subtle is the causal. And all these things you should merge in Atmanar Brahman. Amatraha. No more goal to gain. Like this, something we have told yesterday. Now the 12th stanza we have to start.
Is Virat superimposed on A or A superimposed on Virat?
On A, you have to superimpose the Virat. You see, you are having an idol, statue, and that you are superimposing a God, particular God. So, Nikrishte Utkrishta Drishti, that which is lower one, on that you should have higher imagination. So, the A is only a sound, and it is limited. On that, you are imagining the unlimited Vaishwana. But in a reverse way, you should not do. If you go to a king, you fellow servant of all human beings, you do this, he gets angry. But if you tell a servant, oh, you are serving the king so much, within few days he will make you the king. Immediately he will do your work. That is imagining the higher thing and a lower thing. Nikrishte Utkrishta Drishti Upasana. When we worship the Shiva in the form of Linga, no. We never think that we are worshipping a stone. We imagine we are worshipping the all-pervading Lord Shiva. Is it not? So, on A, you have to superimpose the Virat.
Okay, but Virat is more subtle.
Virat is?
More subtle.
More subtle. Virat is more gross. It is the combination of all the gross things. U is subtle, that is Taijasa, and Hiranyagarbha is more subtle than the Virat. The combined gross forms is called Virat. Combined subtle forms is called Sutratma Hiranyagarbha. The combined causal state is called Ishvara. He is the root. He is the cause for the creation and dissolution. Ishvara. And all things are one. Gross, subtle and causal. Why? Because superimposed. You may superimpose a snake on the rope, a stick on the rope, a garland on the rope, or something else. But all the things are not there. And a single human being is called by the son as the father, and son by his father, And wife says husband, brother says brother, but only individual is one. In the same way, only one thing is there. Clear?
Clear.
Swamiji will clear more. Hmm? Page 352. This fellow should go more down. See, I should be able to see my book also. It should not obstruct my observation. अमात्रश्चतुर्थो अव्यवहार्य प्रपंचोपशमः शिवो अद्वैतः एवं ओंकार आत्मा एव संविदित आत्मना आत्मानं य एवं वेद. Is all that?
This is okay.
This is okay, that is also okay. Oh.
You feel it like this now?
He is going away from it.
Now it's okay? So we make another one. Let's try.
That's all. We can bear little sweat, don't worry. If you want, if you get disturbed your recording, you can put it up. So he says, Amatra, that is, the Om is divided into three matras, A, U, Ma. But he says that Atman is not having any letter, any sound, it is beyond the sound, beyond name and form. Why? Because it is called Turiya, the fourth one, when compared to the three steps. It is not the fourth. It is the only one that is existing. The other three are superimposed. So there is no matra, no sound. And previously we told you, it is not having any special species, jati, guna, karma, and no qualities, and not having any action, it is actionless, non-attached, and but it is there. In the relative plane, if you want to understand a thing, you should have all these things, a species, an action, equality, all these things. But nothing is there. So he says, this whole world is an appearance. As we see this snake on the rope, it appears but it is not there. But without a support, without a base, you cannot see any appearing thing. If a rope is there, you can see a snake. If you are seeing the world, means something is there. And By deep discrimination, we know the world is unreal. Then it is an appearance. So, by removing the appearance, we can very easily understand the base or the support. That it is called the knowledge. When you remove the appearance, we understand as the adhisthana something is there. So, though you cannot tell the Atman through words, by speech, you cannot imagine through mind, but still you can understand and experience. Is it not? And the boys are the ignorant person superimposes the blueness in the sky. The blueness is only an appearance. And blueness is a quality. A quality always takes the support of a thing, an object. Without an object, there cannot be a quality. Can you show anything like that? In the relative world. So, those sky is formless. We suppose and understand the space of sky is there. We know that something is there because it has given a place for your sitting and standing, for your existence. And it carries the sound. Air is not, or the breeze is not carrying the sound. The quality of sound is there in the space. How you can conclude? See, Sabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Sabda, the sound is there in the earth. And Sparsha is there in the water. Touch. Form is there in the fire. And touch is in the air. So, this is the Sparsha. Taste is in water, and then smell is in the earth. So, but one fellow is left. The four elements are having four things. And here one element is left and sound is left. So combine both. See, two persons went to the forest in a chariot. So, they are having a chariot. And a horse was there to pull the chariot. They both went. And after doing their work, one fellow's horse has died. Horse has died, which he has put. And another fellow's chariot was bought. So what they will do? They combine. In the same way, here one element is left and one quality is left, so we combine. That is called Parishesha Nyaya. That we call Parishesha Nyaya. See? So, what we have concluded? The sky, the space, is a thing that is existing, though there is no form. What form you will give for the breeze or the air? Let me know. Can you give any form? You just infer. In the same way, by inferring, by experiencing, we come to the conclusion, though there is no forms and qualities, something is existing as consciousness within us. And another example I am giving, somebody is playing some drama. So you say the Merchant of Venice. What is the name of the drama? Merchant of Venice. So one is playing the role of Bassanio, Antonio, Shyla. They are playing. And in reality they know I am not a Shyla. I am not a Bassanio. They know their nature. In the same way, by experience, you know your nature. I am not the mind. So, how you know? By removing these superficial things. Dream, sleep, and waking. You are daily experiencing. I went to sleep, but I am the experiencer of the sleep. I am the seer of that happiness. I am the subject, and the happiness is the object. A subject can never be an object can never be subject. Simple discrimination. But there you get into the conclusion, yes, I am the experience. That's why again and again I say, never give up this vichara or discrimination. Then only you can contemplate on yourself. Because it is superimposed. Very simple solution. And while sleeping, you don't know that I am sleeping. Huh? And by the experience of sleep, you understand that something is there beyond my body, senses and mind. You can easily infer. Mind is not working, senses are not working, body is not working. Yet you are having the experience. Experience comes to the only consciousness, not in a matter. So I am conscious. Though by the experience of sleep, you can very easily understand what you are. What is your nature? As the actor knows that I am some X, but I am not Shaila Sarvasya. Because he knows his nature. And the world is negated in the sleep, so also by experiencing this self, everything is negated. That's why he says, That is amatra. And then but to attain, to experience, you should have deep reflection. Deep reflection, bhavana, with so much of faith, so much of attachment to that, doing everything for that, living for that alone. Otherwise, you are carried away. Just like a boat is carried away by the storms of this worldly desires. Sri Krishna says. Now again he says, Chaturtha, because name and form are speech and mind. Name you utter with the speech, and with the mind you understand the form. Again I remind you, nothing is there outside. Everything is within you. Your own mind, everything is there in the mind. So, he says, because it is beyond speech and mind, name and form, it is called the fourth. The name and form belongs to the below three. Below three, the waking, dream and sleep. And then he says, avyavaharya. There is no transaction, worldly transaction. He says, avyavaharya. Why? The qualities are the experiences of the particular three stages are not there in the consciousness. It is completely detached, not doing any work, actionless, egoless, no attachment. But it is there. We have to come, but it is there. If it is not there, we cannot see, we cannot hear, we cannot do. Just by the presence of that consciousness, you are doing everything and the whole world is running. See? But when the world is not there, when the transaction is not there, prapanchopasama, then how can you say it is there? We are seeing the world. But it is illusion. It is a play of illusion. It is just the play of the magician. Then again he says, Shivaha. The seeing of the duality is called Ashiva. Duality belongs to the gross body. It is only dead matter. So try to see Shiva, that is consciousness. These all things I am taking from the sub-commentary. And again he says, Advaita, because you have removed all the stages. It alone is there. Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Even while teaching to Arjuna, Krishna says, besides me nothing is there. So, most of the scholars, they take the teachings of Gita in a light manner. They simply explain something. But they don't go so deep. Everything has been told in the Gita. Upanishads, he says, whatever is told in the Upanishads, the essence I am telling you. So, it is Ashiva. Just seeing like a corpse. But it is Shiva, your consciousness. And Advaita, it alone is there, he says. Neha nanasti kinchana. There are not many things, only one thing is. Ekam sad vipra bahuda vadanti. Only the existing thing is only one, but people call it many. That's why he says Advaita. Evam Omkaraha Atma Eva. Now, it says the sound Omkara is no other than the Atma. Because it told Amatra. When you say Om, again if you want to say, you give a gap. Amatra. That we say it is, and that you have to superimpose Brahman and Atma. The Amatra. But what about all these stages which we are experiencing? That you have already superimposed on A-U-Ma, and you have dissolved all these three stages, and finally you are contemplating on the Atma. Just we pray a particular Lord, deity, chosen deity, on a particular statue. You are seeing the statue, but not real God. Then what you do? You just superimpose. When you go to a temple, what you do? You will be seeing the statue and closing the eyes and start praying. Then you have come to see the temple, statue. Why you are closing the eyes? Because you are meditating on the pervading Lord. It reminds you. There was a blind man, went to a temple and stood before the statue. He was not moving. Others said, you are a blind fellow, why you are standing here? Get away. Arey, see, I am not able to see the God, but God is seeing me. That's why I am standing here. And another example also I told, there was a big mosque. And one fellow from behind, started jumping, dancing. He heard a sound. You fellow Muhammad, you are not paying your prayers properly. That much of sound he heard. And he started jumping, dancing. Others asked, you see, the Allah is telling, your prayers are not proper. Why you are dancing? Arey, you see, my presence, my existence has been recognized by Allah. But your existence recognized. But your existence is not recognized. That's why He gave me a voice. You have not got that. That's why I'm dancing. Oh, what do you understand by this? You are not simply standing before a statue. You are standing, it reminds you the pervasiveness, all pervading. And you think that He is hearing me. So, Omkara Atmayeva. When you conclude, when you experience this, Samvishati Atmana Atmanam, the first Atma or the self is the superimposed one, the mind and body. That you have mentioned in the real. Atmana Atmanam is the Ye evam Veda, who meditates like this. That which is without letters is the fourth, beyond apprehension, through ordinary means, cessation of the phenomenal world, the auspicious and the non-dual, auspicious Shiva, and unauspicious the corpse. Thus, Om is certainly the self. He who knows thus enters the self by self. That is why Samvishati he has given a word. Equivalent is there, as I told you previously, in 18th chapter, 55th sloka. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yava nischasmi tatvatah tato mam tattvato jnatva vishante tadanantaram. Vishate here is a samvishati. So, the enters nicely, without any effort. He is in the self. So now he is but you say this is superimposed self Atmana Atmanam. With this superimposed self, he is experiencing the real self. How? He simply says through knowledge. Through knowledge. So, knowledge is more important. Now, we read the commentary. Amatro matra yasya nasti. No letters. So amatra, Omkar Chatustaturiya. It is the fourth one. Atma eva. It is Atman alone, he says. So, you should realize that alone vigneyaha. What to know? Experience Atma. That you have to know. That we. Kevalo abhidhan abhideya rupyor vang manasyo kshinatva. What he says? The name and form belongs to the speech and mind. These two things are dissolved there. Evaporated, destroyed, China, he says. So, until and unless you should experience all this, until and unless you negate the name and form, you cannot go to the beyond. Then, from the beginning of the life, we are seeing only name and form. Here you have to use your discrimination and knowledge. Name and form are not real. They are changing. So they are not real. And changing thing is underlying them. That is the existence. If you break one part, you say, a part is, I am. A part is. The is called existence. If you break one part, where the existence gone? It is in another part. In the same way, the existence will not cease. Agent is destroyed. That's why he says, Abhidhan abhidhe rupyor vangmasyo kshinatvan avyavaharyaha. It is because name and form, there is no relative works are exchanged. Prapanchopasama. Everything is dissolved. Now, by dissolving the ignorance, that is, the original ignorance, the root cause for the duality, that is called Mula Jnana. So, if you go beyond name and form, that means you are thinking something else which is beyond your speech and mind. And the name and forms are dissolved. And the limitation where these name and forms are dissolved, where you are dissolving, something should be there. You see, I tell you, bring something. Where from? From the pot, or from the floor, from the room. That means, when you are removing a something, from an existing thing only you can remove. That existing is we call consciousness. That's why he says, the beyond the limitations, vinasha avadhitvena, the consciousness exists. That is why it is called prapanchopasamaha. The whole world is silent and dissolved. Upasama, dissolved. Shanta. So, where you are dissolving, that support base is called prapanchopasama, the consciousness. That's why he says prapanchopasama, Shivaha Advaita. That is beyond the observation of duality. Only one. That's why Advaita is the most pure thing, holiest thing. We call the holy city. But here what we call the holiest thing. That is your Atma. In this connection, in my previous talks I gave you a story. Do you remember? If the mind is pure, you can get Ganges water from anywhere. Do you remember? Huh? Only Swamiji says I remember, others says I don't know. So, shall I repeat it or not? Why I am telling the purest thing, taintless. Nothing impurity is there in that. How you can prove? For that, I am giving the story. In Gita, there is a stanza, Yam yam vapi smarat bhavam tejityante kalevaram tantame veti kaunte sada tadbhava bhavi. While passing away, whatever you think, there you will be. So, a great scholar was there, great scholarly person, man full of knowledge of all the Shastras. Actually, he is worshipping his chosen deity, and suddenly he remembers that my slippers have gone out of order. Slippers, shoes, you say. So after worship, I will go to the cobbler and get them repaired. Thinking so he died. So where he will go? To a cobbler's house. What you think that you will be? And especially while passing away. So be careful not to think of anything else. But when you practice from now onwards, then only a guarantee is there you can remember the Lord in your last moment. Anyhow, so he born in a cobbler's house. What can be done? As soon as he opens his eyes, everywhere he sees so many types of skins of different animals. They are hanging, thinking, well, he remembers his past and starts weeping. Oh, where I was, where I have come. Weeping, not drinking milk, only weeping and weeping. So, in the village, there was a talk. The cobbler had a son. He is not taking milk, he is not drinking milk. He is only weeping and weeping. Already 3 days over. If he goes on weeping like that, that fellow may die. Naturally, when he is not taking anything. So, in that village, a particular devotee was there. And she came and asked all other people to quit the room. You leave the baby alone with me. And she took into her hands, I know that you are a great yogi, but by some mistake you have come into this life. Simply by weeping and wailing, nothing will happen. Be alert. Now start thinking of the Lord and do your own duty. See the message, the devotee. She understood. He must be a yogi. He must be a great devotee, man of knowledge in his previous birth. Because of some mistake, just like Jadabharata, he is born here. Then that fellow stops weeping. See? And he performs all his duties very nicely, with full heart. He has grown up. And cobbler, if you even you work hard, very difficult to get your bread. Very few pennies you get. Somehow he is leading his life like that. So a moneyed man was there, that is wealthy man in the village. So he came to this cobbler and told, I am going to Haridwar to have a dip in Ganges. Then this cobbler, his name is Raidas, the teacher of Meera, master of Meera, the great devotee. He has initiated Meera, the Meera Bai. So, this wealthy man says, I am going to Ganges. Then this Raidas thinks, I am not having so much money, I cannot go. But you give a little offering from my side to the Ganges. He says to the wealthy man, what a penny. He gave, and whatever mother gives as prasad, you bring back, he says. So much of faith. And this wealthy man goes, has a dip, and he remembers the penny of the Raidas and telling, O Mother Ganges, your devotee Raidas has given this penny. I am offering it to you. Whatever prasad you give, I will take it back. So he thrown. And a beautiful hand, decorated hand, with gold and gems, comes from the Ganges. And it throws a bangle of beautiful gems and gold and unparalleled. So the wealthy man brings it to the house. After coming, his wife saw that one. What that cobbler is going to do with this wealthy thing? Such a costly thing. He give it to me. Yes. And daily, once, whenever she remembers, she used to tell, bring another bangle like this. It is given by God, how to bring? So 10 years were over, passed away. This wealthy man never saw that cobbler again, Raidas. Thinking now 10 years passed, though he might have forgotten. We forget after 10 days. But he's a yogi, you see. How can he forget? So he goes by that way. Immediately Raidas calls him. Oh, on such a long time back, I gave you penny to offer to the Ganges. What prasad mother has given, give me. This wealthy man simply lies. He tells untruth. Nothing shall. Then the Raida says, why you are telling a lie? I know she has given very costly bangle bedecked with gems. That it is with your wife, and your wife is always teasing you to bring another bangle like that. Now I am giving you, take. Where from? See, cobblers in India here, what they do, I don't know. They keep a wooden pot and they wet the skin that they are in the water, and then they stitch the shoes. From that part he takes a bangle like the same bangle with Mother Ganges said to them. Says, take it away. So, man changa ho to katoti mein Ganga. If the mind is pure, everything is there, everywhere. See? So, it is the purest thing, the real, imperishable, that is your Atma. Whatever you want, it will give. But a realized person, man of knowledge, who experiences that, never asks anything for himself. So that's why Swamiji says again and again, Sivaji, be unselfish, be unselfish. So that is called the purest thing. So afterwards, he has initiated Mirabai, that is just I think some few hundred years back. She is the princess, but gives up everything for the sake of the Lord. These things are the proof that God is. I am. So, never raise any doubt in your mind, anytime. Have that belief, have that faith, and go ahead. Shivo Advaita Samvrta Vetokta Omkara Strimata Stripada Atma Eva Samvishita Atmana Sveneva. So, he says, it is the purest thing. And again he says, Sarva Anartha Bhavena. Nothing impurity is there in that. Another disciple was there of Sri Ramakrishna. He is called Nag Mahasaya. Nag Mahasaya, his name is. Also the devotee. So, his mother says, I want to go to Ganges to have a dip. She is so old, she cannot walk, not having strength to go. Then simply, what the Nagmasha says, simply prays to the mother Ganges, and a fountain comes. Suddenly in this garden, mother takes this in Ganges. Recently, just 150 years back, this happened. And in only Upanishads we hear that gods and rishis, they do help. those who are having devotion. In the same way, even now, if you are having the pure devotion, the pure love for your Atma, the full attachment, then these gods do help. You need not have any doubt. You develop that contemplation, the deep devotion, and you can easily experience. And again says, nothing impurity is there. And you can indicate that as the highest bliss. How it is indicated, Atman? Highest bliss, highest happiness. That is why he is called Shiva. The highest happiness. Shati papamiti Shiva. After remembering, no sin will be there in you. It is all washed off. And Advaita, it is the one thing, non-dual, because all the duality is imaginary, it is superimposed on that. That's why it is called Advaita, he says. And Vijnana, the experience. What is the experience? He says, the stages of the life and the parts of Omkara and the parts of Atman are one. That is the knowledge. The waking, dream and sleep superimposed on Uma are not different from the Vishwa, Tejas and Prajna. How everything is illusory, appearance, superimposed. In one word, they will make others silent. That is the only weapon these Advaita people are having. Mayayam sarvasambhava. That's why even Sri Krishna says, Mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. This my illusion is terrible, difficult to cross. Those who take refuge in me, they alone can cross this. See? It is not the scriptures that are telling. It is the Lord Himself is teaching like this. Omkara strimatma stripada atmeva samvishati, then comes the oneness. That is the fruit of the oneness. Experiencing the oneness. Samvishati. Atmana Atma. So far he is having the knowledge of, say, the superimposed body-mind. Superimposed body. That is Atma. He was thinking earlier. That by knowledge he has dissolved into the self. Samvishati Atmana Sveneva. Then he says, Swam Paramarthikam Atmanam Yevam Veda. One who knows his real self. Then he says, the opponent asks, you see, he is becoming one with the consciousness in the sleep. So you are told Atmana Atmanam Samvishati. By getting into it, he is realizing, experiencing this self. So here we see a sleeping man wakes. So a realized person also again can take birth. Realized person may take again birth.
My question was, Swamiji, we see the opponent saying.
Yes, opponent. I told in the beginning. The opponent is asking. Then he says, Paramarthadashi Brahmavat Tritiyam Bija Bhavam Dagdva. The man of the realization of the absolute, Paramarthadashi, one who sees only the absolute oneness, and he has burned the cause, that is which is ignorant. So, and he has entered into the Atma. Just like a river entering into the ocean, it loses its name and form, becomes one with the ocean. This man also is like that. So again he will not come back. Iti na punajjayate, he will not come back. That he says, Turiyasya Abija Bhava. In the fourth stage, there is no caste. Then the English translation Amatra, that which has no matra part, the partless one, the fourth, the Turiya, the absolute self, beyond comprehension through ordinary means, beyond speech and mind, owing to the annihilation of speech and mind, which are the forms of names and the objects indicated. The names and objects indicate the speech and mind. These things also are not there. It is the final limit of negation of the world. Final limit. I told it is the base for superimposition. Final limit. Where from you negate all the things? From this limit, from this place. The auspicious, non-dual, Om has endowed with the three letters and as used by one with the knowledge spoken of above. He is the self itself endowed with three quarters. He who knows thus enters into his own supreme self. He, the knower of Brahman, who has perceived the supreme reality, has entered into the self by destroying the third causal state. Therefore, he is not born again, for Turiya consists of no causal state. Causal state in the sleep. Then the opponent again asks, you say a man who has realized or man of knowledge will not return. He will not return back and he will not again come to birth and death. But still he is having a body, Jivan Mukta state. So because of the effect of the past impressions, opponent is asking, so he may take again birth. See. Again he may take birth.
Because of what?
Past impressions. He is having some impressions. First what he has asked, he may come back as a man is coming back from the city. For that he is told, he has burned the cast, the seed itself. He has burned. Then because of the past impressions he may come back. For that he is giving the answer. Nahi rajju sarpi or viveke rajvam pravishta sarpo buddhi sanskarat punah purvat tad vivekinam utthasyati. A man has seen the appearance of a snake on the rope and he went and decided that it is a rope, and he is a discriminating person. He is having some knowledge. He is not a fool, number one. So, again he will not see the snake on the rope. Because he is having. Same thing happened in Kailas ashram once. It was a little dark and a vehicle came. It's a big rope they have thrown away below the vehicle, by the side of the vehicle. Then we thought it must be a snake. So we took the light and went, torch, and found it is only there. But at times we misunderstand, miscalculate the things. Before 2006, I used to go for a walk daily, 10, 12 or even 14 kilometers per day. I used to walk. Finally, doctor told, you see, that's why all your knees have been rubbed up. Whatever it is, you cannot walk now so much. All right. So one day I was coming from the walk. It was just becoming dark, rainy season. I am having an umbrella with me. See, we are having a platform after entering into the ashram, and below that a slope was there for the vehicles. So from the road the vehicles enter and again they go back. But we walking people, we go to the platform and go to our room just by the side room is there. So this is the platform and this is the slope. Here is a snake, black. I thought it must be an ordinary snake. So just I was putting the umbrella behind. And after going such a distance, the gates were there of the Kailas ashram. And to construct the gate, they have constructed a wall, and for that the gate they have fixed. And this road comes and hits the wall. So there is 90 degrees angle wall is there. I was behind and the snake was running. There it went and immediately did not go ahead. So started hissing. I was so much afraid. Because just I was. That is misunderstanding. At that time it was only 6 or 6:30. It was there in that position up to 8 o'clock. It is also afraid, you see. So, mistakes do appear. We do mistakes. Think something for something. I thought it is rainy season, it must be an ordinary snake. And that was a cobra, black cobra. The black cobra and the brown cobra are very ferocious. Once if they find some mistake with you, till they bite you, they will never die. Wherever you may go, they will find you. This is saying like whatever it may be. Of course. Afterwards it went to the other side, slowly, on the road, by the side of the road. A heap of rocks were there. On that some people were sitting, householders. They saw the snake coming that side and they have killed it. I asked them, why you have killed it? Because we are having children, it may bite our children. Anyhow, it has lost its life. But our Swami used to tell, never kill even a scorpion. So one day, what happened? I put flowers, you see, in my room. That I put in a vessel. And a boy came to sweep the room. So just I took the flowers and thrown away on the floor. And suddenly we see a red scorpion in the flowers. It must be sleeping there, that's why it has not bitten me. We thought it was only flowers, but a scorpion was there. And because the story of flowers has come, I will tell you a story about the flower. If you want to hear.
Yes.
Previously also I told you. Do you remember? That is just, I was say some 12 years old, and we got a picture of Balaji, Tirupati Balaji in the house. And I was a very short fellow, till my 16th year, only 4.5 feet height. And it was put above the wall and the door frame. My hands will not go there. So I used to take the help of a chair. On both the hands I used to put my legs on them. Simply, as long as I was there in the house, this was only the worship I was doing. Nothing else. Simply take bath, put a flower to the garden. That's all. So, what afterwards I think, because of His grace, I got this renunciation. See? So, patram pushpam phalam toyam yume bhaktya prayachati asnami tadaham. I take it. So here we are telling about Nahi Rajju Sarpa. If you decide that the snake is illusion, again you will not see a snake on that particular road. So, dear boy, don't worry. The realized person will not come back. That is the answer. Manda madhyama diyantu pradipanna sadhaka bhavanam sanmargagaminam sanyasinam matranam padanam cha klipta samanya vidam yathavat upasimana omkaro brahma pradipate alambani bhavati. Now, some are there. He says they are sannyasins, but the translator is the dull-witted fellows. But again he corrects. No, just medical.
Just what?
Huh? Mediocre. Huh? So he has corrected, you see. Those who write, they never erase their word. That is their quality. So somehow he has scolded dull-witted and immediately are mediocre people.
So we should correct?
Huh?
We should erase?
When he has not corrected, who are you to correct it? You should understand. That means they cannot understand that world is unreal. But they have taken sannyasa and they are trekking a good path. So for them, this Om becomes a support, he says. Support. When you are Atman, when that Atman is Brahman, and that Brahman is not different from you, so what is the use of taking a support in between? That's why he says, Midikoi. They cannot understand, they are not having that capacity in their minds to understand this seeing world is illusory. So they take the support, go to Brahmaloka, and then afterwards, along with Brahman, they live. तथा च वक्षति आश्रमा त्रिविधा इत्यादि. He says, this we are going to tell. Where? In Advaita Prakarana of the 16th stanza. That is page 420. आश्रमा त्रिविधा हीना मध्यम उत्कृष्ट दृष्टय उपासनोपदिष्टायम तदर्थम अनुकंपया. He says, because all are not so capable, or they are not having so much of intelligence and discrimination, there are 3 stages of life: low, medium and high. The meditation is enjoined for the sake, out of compassion for the low and medium, but not for the high. The same thing he refers here. Consequent on the discrimination between a rope and a snake, a snake that was superimposed on a rope does not reappear before those men of discrimination as it did before, owing to the impressions, reflections in the intellect. To those sannyasis who are dull-witted or just mediocre, who adhere to means of the practicants, that means they want some result for their practice, who stick to the virtuous path, but they are sticking to the virtuous path, who know the common features of the letters and the quarters as explained above. To them the syllable Om, you meditated on in the right manner, becomes a support for the realization of Brahman. It becomes a support, upasana. So shall be said later on. 3 stages of life. Here ends the text of Mandukya Upanishad, he says. Here and the text. So, citing from Gita, I told, Dadami buddhiyogam tam yena mam upayanti te. I give them the eligibility of knowledge, those who worship me. The same thing is told here. Huh? That they get the eligibility to understand the knowledge that I am Brahma. By upasana, by contemplation, by deep meditation. Now, Gaudapada is giving some karikas here.
The mediocre sannyasi, they follow the path of the practicals.
Practices home.
And consequently, they go to Brahmaloka. Do they go and come back?
No.
No. Kramamukti.
Krama. But if their discrimination increases, here also they can realize. But nahi kalyan krut kasti durgatim tata gacchati. A man who is meditating, who is doing good, will never fall down. Sri Krishna says, but some people do come back from Brahmaloka. Who are they? In Vrihadaranyaka, you come across those who are doing Aswametha Yaga. They go to Brahmaloka. And in the same Vrihadaranyaka and Chandogya it comes Panchagni Vidya. Those also they go to Brahmaloka. But those they go there to enjoy there, not for realization. Yeme vaisharunte tena labhya. If you want the enjoyment of Brahmaloka, you will come back. If you want to realize, you will not come back. Remember that in the Brahma Sutras, in the last chapter, in the last sutra, I think, Vedavyasa, he describes this thing. So, there is a indicated meaning for the people of knowledge that only one Brahman exists. And for the ordinary people, that is direct explanation. The Omkara is Brahman. So meditate on this. That's why many, they don't get the opportunity of hearing Vedanta. Sravanayapi bahubhiriyo na labhya. Srunvantopi na vidhu. Even after hearing, they don't understand meaning. Ascharya vakta kusalanusishta. Ascharyavat pashyati kasidenam. Ascharyavat vadati tadaiva chani. Ascharyavat chena manya sunat. Shrutvapi enam vedena cheva kasti. Even after hearing many, they don't understand it. Gita charge. Just as in the second chapter it comes. Why they are mediocre? Mediocre, sorry. Mediocre. By deeply contemplation of a particular deity, chosen deity, or by constantly hearing Vedanta, also your mind gets sharpened. Then very easily you can understand. See, I have been explaining the superimposition. Only 3 persons have asked me to explain it again. And they want in writing. One from here and 2 other swamis. One that is Siddheswar and what is it? Umeshwar. They wanted in writing or something, whatever it may be. Why I am telling? They don't want to go so deep into the subject. They tend to hear and leave it. That should not be the case. Again and again by hearing, by deep contemplation on the self, the mind is sharpened and all the impurities are removed, bad influence. And it is purified, it is concentrated, it becomes one-pointed. It becomes eligible to experience the concept. So Gaudapada Karika tomorrow, today, time is over, what to do?